हाय गाइज व्हाट्सअप। कैसे हो सब लोग?
Well, sir.
ग्रेट
Good
ग्रेट।
evening.
वेरी गुड इवनिंग चंदन एंड एवरीवन। लेट मी रिकॉर्डिंग। आई होप आई एम विजिबल, राइट? यू guys able to see me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, just give me a few minutes more, then we'll start. All right, guys, so welcome you all once again in the session. And today we are going to start very interesting topic, and that is going to be your step by step Palo Alto firewall configuration. So I hope when we start this demo sessions, we discuss about the basic fundamental of the firewall. I demonstrated how this Palo Alto is going to look like, and in terms of dashboard, and we have to understand each and everything in very detail about the configuration, deployment strategy, troubleshooting strategy, different kind of the policy, different kind of the NAT rule, different kind of the advanced feature, next generation firewall feature like content ID, user ID. In content ID, how we can apply the virus, antivirus, like we can do the DOS protections, data filtering, also how we can do the wildfire integrations, how we can block the file and all, how we can do the HA configuration and all. But these all are going to very advanced thing. But we are in the very basic stage. We are trying to learn some basic fundamental. So what is going to be a challenge for you? Might be you are working in the NOC, might be you are going to work in the SOC environment, might be you are going to work in the data center environment, and any other branch location IT admin, you are going to be part of that, any kind of deployment strategy, configuration strategy. So the major challenge is going to happen if you have very brand new Palo Alto firewall. How you are going to configure that? How basically you're going to take a console, how you're going to take the GUIXX, how you're going to take the CLIXX, and how basically, sorry, I believe I applied the wrong slides. It's my bad. This is not what we're going to cover. We should start doing the Palo Alto. I believe I applied something wrong thing. Let me open the Palo Alto. Yeah, this is going to be course module for us. Somehow I apply the CCN pin code. Yeah. So we are learning the next generation Palo Alto firewall, and the major challenge is going to happen from zero. How you are going to configure the Palo Alto firewall? What is the very first zero step for you? If you have the very brand new firewall, how you are going to react? That's the very first thing. Anyone have any idea? Let's suppose you have any brand new firewall, and someone is going to ask, like, let's explore this firewall. What the first thing you are going to try to that? Any idea? Anyone?
Yeah, can
What
you
is
hear
it?
me?
First,
Yes.
we can say console.
Yeah, Sunil, console. Yes, Jula, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, the answer is just console and maybe set a management IP and
Yeah,
maybe check firewall, check firmware stuff and just go from there.
right. So very first thing, right, without console, you cannot do anything. But I can assure you, out of this 16 people in the class, most of you might be not aware how to take a console of the devices. Even not seen how console cable is going to look like. How basically we can integrate my putty session with the console, right? Putty session with the console, secure CRT with the consoles. How we can integrate my COM ports. So we have to understand from scratch how basically we can do this sessions, means the console connection sessions. If I have to take the GUI access, then how my GUI access is going to be happen with my Palo Alto firewall, right? Because Palo Alto can be operated in two type. It can be operated on the CLI, it can be operated on the GUI. So you being an engineer, you should know about both of the method. How my CLI is going to be configured, how my GUI is going to be configured. So in front of me, I have the Palo Alto firewall. As I promised last time, I show you. So I'm going to play on this Palo Alto firewall. I will show you how step by step this Palo Alto firewall is going to configure and what all configuration method we have, right? So let me try if I can put little bit upper side so I can show you. I'm not sure it's visible or not. Yes, I believe this is the firewall is visible. but I will slow down my camera little bit later, and I will show you how this is going to be configured. Okay. So let's understand some theoretical concept before I go and explain this actual configuration console and all, right? So let's understand one by one. So in this slide, what I'm going to cover, basically this all course content we discussed already, and we are going to cover like initial access of the system. Means if I have the very brand new firewall, how basically it is going to be accessed initially, and what is the step-by-step configuration I have to do that. Means anything you have a new, right, and you have to do the configuration very first time, then what is your first approach, how you're going to do that we have to understand. So guys, one thing we have to understand, if I talk about the Palo Alto firewall, from where you're going to get the Palo Alto firewall. If you want to purchase the Palo Alto firewall, who can purchase the Palo Alto firewall? Probably you cannot purchase the Palo Alto firewall, because the Palo Alto company is not sell Palo Alto firewall for the individual customer generally, right? So they believe the only business is going to purchase. Even if you have a money you want to purchase, then definitely they can sell you. But ideally, what they do Palo Alto, you have to raise a sale, you have to reach out to sales team, you have to visit the paloaltonetwork.com. After reaching the sales team, they will ask your business email, or might be the you can leave your personal email or mobile number, and they will reach out to you. After reaching out to you, they will explain, right, what are the models available and what is your business need, and as per your business need, what model is going to. So you have to explain your all business justification, and after that they will going to be suggest which model of the firewall is going to best for you, right? So the model of the firewall is going to be various model of firewall. It is going to be very small firewall, going to start with the 200 series PA firewall. Then they have the PA 400 series of firewall, right? Then they have the PA 800 series of firewall. They also have the PA 3000 series of firewall. They have the PA 5000 series of firewall, right? And then PA 7000 series of firewall. Famous version probably you're going to get 220, 450, like 820, 3, sorry, 3220, 5200, right? 70, 500 license the firewall you're going to get. So these are different firewalls, but you don't have to purchase all the firewall. It's totally depend what is your business need, and as per business need, you can just going to purchase that firewall. So generally what happen whenever you talk about the Palo Alto firewall is going to be designed in such way to handle certain traffic. It might be if you have the very small office, you just have a 10 and 20 users, you don't require this 7,000 series of firewall. This is more or less data center firewall, and it's not normal data center, it's a huge big data center. If you have the 50,000 sorry 500 series of firewall, it is going to be like you have the mid range of data centers, you have the very large office locations, and might be you can think about TCS infrastructures, you can think about SCL infrastructures, Wipro infrastructure. They have the big offices, multiple employees sitting there. So in that situation, you can apply the this 5,000 series of firewall. 3,800 is like small medium business they are going to use. But if you have the very initial level of business like Guinet, you can think about it. We are not very big company, but we are trying to do our best to become a big. So we do not require this kind of firewall. We have the enough this firewall, or this firewall is going to be enough. But still we are using the 800 firewall, because to understanding the future growth, if you have the future requirement, company have a lot of kind of the traffic, then probably the small firewall is not going to be useful for me or my company. So in that situation, what is going to be happen, you have to use the like bigger firewall, so in future also it is going to cater your all requirement. So this totally depend, right, what is your business use case, and based on that you can purchase the firewall. So you have to put the sales ticket. After that, your sales team is going to be create account for you, and they will deliver to the firewall. And while delivering, they will ask you, guys, any questions anyone have? Please mute if not questions, right? You can ask me later on. If you have a question, please feel free to ask me anything you have then. So generally what is going to be happen, once they going to sell your firewall, they will ask two kind of the question to you. One is, you firewall going to manage by yourself, or you need our professional service. If you say, if I'm going to manage by myself, my team is going to hire a good Palo Alto engineer like you guys, right? Company what do? Company go in a market and hire network security engineer like you all, and you guys go and work for your company and manage your firewalls. That's why you are here to learn the Palo Alto firewall, Another solution they have, Palo Alto itself, they have the professional services. Professional services means they have the, means if you are the Palo Alto customer and you signing the contract with the Palo Alto, they will manage your all firewall, your all configuration, your all troubleshooting. Means anything is going to happen in your network related to the firewall, they will do the troubleshooting, they will do the deployment, they will do the design, and they will also do the day-to-day support as well. So any change activity is going to happen, then also they're going to cover, but they're going to charge a huge amount because Palo Alto is a brand, and Palo Alto generally not manage things by themselves. What they do, Palo Alto, when you going to be make a contract with the Palo Alto is going to make a contract with third party vendors like Palo Alto tag is going to sitting in the SCL, Palo Alto tag is going to sit in the Wipro, Palo Alto tag going to sit in some third party company. So they are going to work on behalf of Palo Alto. They are going to be used as a contractor, but they are going to manage everything via the Palo Alto email for their customers. So being customer, it looks I'm talking to the Palo Alto, but not. Palo Alto is not managing. They have some partners. They have just like vendors, those manning the resources and hiring the resources, and then they are. But the charges are going to very high. So generally companies what do, they not go for the professional service for the Palo Alto. Sometime they just purchase the product, and after purchasing the product they go and hire the engineers from the market like you, and you guys are going to manage that. I hope that is clear, right? Clear till here? Now let's suppose I have the Palo Alto with me. I just purchased the Palo Alto firewall, it's come to me. What I'll do that? Generally, what is the first step I'll do that? The very first step, when I have the Palo Alto firewall, I required one of the rack. The rack is must be going to be there. Without rack, I cannot mount my firewall. So if you want to mount firewall, you require the rack, and rack should have the space as well, because some firewall come with the one RU, two RU, three RU, and four RU. Even more than that also RU. What is a one RU? One RU means one rack unit. So the firewall I'm showing that all small firewall, they come with a one RU. The depth is showing the one RU. One RU means one rack unit. Every data set is mentioned that. When we're going to purchase the firewall, they will mention that what is the space. This one RU is rack unit. This is known as the rack unit. So every firewall is coming with the rack unit, how much rack it is going to require. So might be you're going to purchase the firewall, you don't have the rack. So you're going to put that. So you also have to make sure you have a right racks. So once you have a right racks, you can just mount your firewall. Second thing, they are going to ask the power consumptions. How much firewall is going to take the power supply, right? And the third is it's the temperature. So these three infra means this is the physical infra you have to build. Once you have these three infra built, then you can onboard the Palo Alto firewall. Let's suppose you have the Palo Alto firewall. So it's a one RU. Just take an example. This is the Palo Alto firewall. You can apply it here. And this Palo Alto firewall, let's suppose this is my PA 820. This is going to be connect. Once it is going to be connect, already in this area you have the air conditions, cooling is going to be there. And then you have to connect the external power supply. Power supply is going to connect in the firewall. How the power supply is going to look like? So the power supply cable is going to come in this way. Likewise, your computer cables, it is going to come in this power supply cables. These power supply cable are going to connect on the Palo Alto firewall in backside. So in Palo Alto firewall, you're going to see that we have the backside here. See this one. This is the power supply. So I need to connect this cable here, and then one side I need to supply in the power. The moment I will give that, this Palo Alto firewall have the power. Okay. So let me connect this power as well. So this will get the power because this firewall is going to boot. So it will take some time. So let me apply the power as well. So once you connect the powers, this firewall is going to boot, and after that, it will take 5 to 10-minute time to complete the boot up, because this is a very big firewall and it's required a lot of time to just sync the daemon and all. So I just turn on the firewall. You might be you guys seeing the sounds as well, right? It's a P8 820 firewalls. PA 820. So you can see this firewall is booting up, and this firewall basically, let me try to adjust camera so I can show you. Hold on. Okay, I cannot do that. So you guys can see here, right? This is the this firewall is booting up, right? This firewall is booting up, and it is going to boot, and then it is going to be ready. All right, let's boot it back to the basics. So the firewall is going to connect the power, and then it is going to take 5 to 10 minutes to complete the boot up process. And then you're going to next step to take the console of the firewall. The next step, you have to take the console of the firewall. There is two method. You can take console, you cannot take the console. I will explain the both method how it is going to happen. So if I'm talking, I don't want to take a console of the firewall. Let's suppose this is my firewall PA820. This firewall is going to come with the multiple ports. I'm going to show those ports. The one port is going to be might be the console port. Another port is going to be your management port. Some other ports are going to be also there. Some are the copper RJ45 port, and some are going to be fiber ports. These all ports are available on this camera, this particular firewall. I will show you later on. So if you want to take the console, then your PC must be there. One PC is going to be required. This PC should have the, generally we use the putty software, right? This is going to be installed, and then you required one of the cable that is known as a console cable. So from USB port to this particular firewall, you have to control a console cable. And how the console cable is going to look like? This is the console cable. Let me show you. This is the console cable, guys. If you've never seen the console cable, let's see the console cable. This is my console cable. There is an adapter. What happened? One side, this is a USB port. This is going to connect to your laptop or computer. I will connect this on my computer, and one side is going to be connected on my Palo Alto Firewall. This is the RJ45. There is a special console port is going to be there, and that console port is going to be connected on the Palo Alto Firewall. And once I'll connect this one, this is the converter, USB to RJ45 converter, serial converter we known as. So you need to purchase this console cable from the market, or when you purchase the Palo Alto Firewall, this adapter is going to come by default with the Palo Alto Firewall. This responsibility is, because this is the RJ45 and this is the USB, two different ports are there. So it will translate it. It's acting as a broker or translator. It will just translate the data which is coming from the console to just go to the RJ45, and whatever the RJ45 I'm getting, it is going to my console, right? So this is the console cable which is we are going to use. So power cable I show you, and the console cable. Once we have the console cable, then what next? After the console cable, you can get the direct putty of this particular firewall, and you can start doing the CLI configuration. Means via the console, you can only do the CLI configuration, which is known as the command line interface. The CLI is going to known as the command line interface. But if I talk about the another way of taking the configuration, the Palo Alto also support the GUI based configurations. Means if you don't want to go CLI, that is known as a graphical user interface configurations. So if I want to take Palo Alto as a GUI based configurations, then this setup is not going to work for me. This only going to give my CLI. But for GUI, I need another cable that is going to be RJ45 cable. It's connected to my router. So pure RJ45 cable is going to be used. Means this cable is going to be there, like connector is going to be like this one, RJ45 cable. Means both side, I don't have the RJ45 in front of me, else I'll show you. So you need RJ45, and that RJ45 basically going to be make the GUI connectivity. So you require the RJ45. Basically it is going to come like one of the PC is going to be there again here, laptop or PC or same PC. You can connect, this is going to connect your USB port. Okay, this is going to connect your NIC card of the PC. We have a two difference. If you are going to console connectivity, this is going to connect your USB port. But this is going to a NIC card, and NIC card is going to make a connectivity with my management port. This is also your RJ45 port. So this is going to be either the Cat 5 cable or Cat 6 cable. This is known as the LAN cable. By using this LAN cable, you can take the GUI access. But how? Anyone know how it is going to happen GUI access? Anyone, any experience in past? How? Because it's my brand new firewall, then how I can take the GUI access?
By management type.
From browser, we can take with the help of the default IP 192.168.1 with admin
That's
ID
great.
password.
That's a good thing. This is what I wanted to bring on table, right? So guys, generally what happen whenever you purchase the Palo Alto firewall, right? Whenever you're going to purchase the Palo Alto firewall, the Palo Alto firewall have the multiple ports. Let me use different color. The Palo Alto firewall have the multiple port. This is my PA 820. As I mentioned, this is the console port. Let's suppose this is my console port. This console port do not require any IP. No IP needed. No IP required. Clear? They have another port that is known as the management port. This management port is designed for the GUI access only. Means if you want to take the GUI access, this management port is going to be required. And if you want to use this management port, then what is going to require? You required one PC. This PC NIC card is going to connect with the management port with the RJ45. And this port have the default IP. Note it down. If you have the physical firewall, this port have the default IP address 192.168.1.1 and you can put the subnet mask /24. This is going to be default IP address. So if I go my PC NIC card and I can apply this is my PC NIC card. And if I'm going to apply the IP address 192.168.1.2/24, will I able to ping from this PC to management IP address or not? What do you guys think? If I have this kind of requirement, can I ping or not?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
I
Yes,
can
yes.
ping
We
because
can.
they are
Yes,
the
sir.
same subnet. So once we have the same
Yes.
subnet, I can ping it. So whenever you have the management interface generally allow three services. And this is very important. Console port do not require any services, just require the console serial cable you require. You have to set the baud rate and it's going to be connected. But in management port, if you want to take the GUI access, how GUI, which protocol GUI will take the access? What protocol basically used to take the GUI access? Anyone?
HTTPS.
Yes. The protocol for GUI is HTTPS. Any other protocol?
HTTP.
Yeah, that's correct. HTTP. Any other or only two?
22.
Only two, right? So only two method we have to take GUI access, that is HTTP and HTTPS. What is difference between the HTTP and HTTPS, guys?
Secured and not secured.
Which one is secure? Which one is not secure?
HTTPS.
Secure.
Yeah. So HTTP is going to give the secure connections. And this is going to be non-secure connections. Means anything you are doing browsing on the HTTP, even on the websites, you go in, open any website, by default it is going to redirect on the HTTPS. By default, all websites are going to redirect on the HTTPS. And that is going to be any banking, any your Gmail, even the GUINET website, any Google Drive, any box. By default, it is going to on the HTTPS. So basically, HTTPS is going to give a security where nobody is going to understand what data you're sending and what data you're receiving. That's the beauty of the HTTPS. Means nobody going to understand what data you're sending and what data you're receiving. But when you sending the HTTP, I will show in the live. If I'm going on any HTTP website, whatever activity I'm doing, I just have to use my packet tracer. I'll show you in this session or might be the next session. Whatever data you're sending, I can capture those data and I can understand Mr. Akshay, Mr. Rajesh, and Ravit, whatever thing they are doing on the HTTP, what username they put it, what password they put it, what file they download, what chat they send it, that's all readable to the anyone. Just you know how to read that. But if I'm going for the HTTPS, it's not going to readable. So on management port, I hope this one is clear to everyone, right? On by default management port, if you go that, right, 3 services are going to be allowed. The first one SSH, second one HTTPS, and the third one is going to be ping. But if you want to allow other services, if you want to allow non-secure telnet, you can do that. If you want to allow HTTPS, you can do that. Sorry, HTTP, you won't do that. These are the non-secure services. Whatever SSH can do that, telnet can do that. Same thing, but the problem with telnet is a non-secure. Again, every session for telnet, I can read it. What you're sending, what I'm receiving. Same for the HTTP as well. Anything you're sending, I can read it. So if you want to allow these services on this management interface, you can do that, but explicitly you have to allow that. By default, only 3 services are going to be allowed. Means if you connected the cable on this particular PC to management port, you can ping it. You can do the SSH. SSH will give the CLI access or GUI access? SSH will give the CLI or GUI?
CLI.
Right? Ping will give the connectivity test, and HTTPS will give the secure GUI access. So if I want to take the GUI access, I have to take the secure. So in interview, it is going to be asked, $1 million question is going to be asked, what is going to be default services allow on the management interface of the Palo Alto Firewall? It's clear to everyone? Now let me show one of the diagram so we can understand these all concept in very detail. Hold on. So let me hold on. I'll go in the Google. Why this is not working?
The notification on the right side says restore pages.
Okay, hold on. Why it's not? Okay. I was thinking my keyboard is not working. PA 820. Palo Alto. Why it's not working correctly? Palo Alto 820. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I just wanted to show. Then we'll take the console access. Is it visible to everyone? Clear? The firewall is visible?
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Okay. See, this is the Palo Alto firewall, right? And this is the 820 firewall. And you guys see here, right? We have this is the port I was talking about. This is the management port. This is the console port. Same is available in the front of me. Okay, I will show you. This is another console port, right? We have the USB port. So the console port which I was referring, this is the console port on which we can take the CLI access. Means we have to connect the cable and then you have to take the CLI access. But management port, this hard-coded IP is going to be there. Means we're going to purchase. This IP is going to be always available. And the default username is going to be admin. And default password is going to be admin. Even you are going to log in very first time via console as well. What is your username, default username and password? Anyone know? Any guess? This again admin and admin. The same. CLI GUI is going to be same. Admin and admin. And after the first login, you have to change the username and password. This is how it is going to happen. All right. So this management port default services are going to be SSH. It's going to be ping, and then going to be HTTPS. Now let's back to the normal ports. Before normal port, this is another console cable. It's again going to be do the same work, but the connector is going to be changed. Means this time not require the RJ45 cable. In this both ports, management port and console port, we require the RJ45. But in the console port, this is a normal C type or C type of cable is going to be used to just make the console connectivity. This is my USB port. Why USB port is going to be there in Palo Alto Firewall? This USB port is basically if you want to copy some license, right? Copy some logs. You want to transfer some OS version, PAN OS version, basically we known as the PAN OS version, etc. So just to transfer any data in or out from the firewall, that is going to require your this console port. USB port. Make sense, everyone? Clear? Are we good with this 4 port? Everyone clear?
Yes.
Any doubt? Please raise your hand.
No doubt,
Yes,
all
sir.
clear.
Okay, good. Now moving next, we have multiple ports as well. Apart from these all ports, we have the multiple ports as well. Same in the physical. This is exactly physical firewall. These are the ports we have. This basically port 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 port is basically copper port. This is basically your fiber ports. Why copper? Why fiber? Copper having the lower speed. You can transmit data, you can receive data 1 to 1 Gbps. Fiber, you can go up to 10 gig, right? This is the beauty of the copper. If you want to use this fiber also for the 1G, you can do that. But basically by default, if you're using the fiber ports, they are going to be use the higher speed. That's the main reason. That's why basically on the Palo Alto firewalls, any router, any switches, you going to find the fiber ports. If you have the requirement, just the copper ports, you don't have to purchase the devices which are the fiber port because the cost is going to be higher side. So you always have to purchase the ports where we require just RJ45, the cost is going to be lower. Then the question is why we have the two kind of ports and what is the use of these ports? The use is going to be you can connect these ports for your LAN connectivity. Means let's suppose you have the LAN infra. You have the LAN infra. You can make the connectivity either RJ45 or might be the fiber cable. It's your choice. It's RJ means copper. Similarly, if you have the WAN infrastructure, let's suppose you have the WAN. You want to go on the internet. Then you can connect either via the fiber or either via the copper. Why? Basically what happened when you go for the LAN connectivity, you have the slower requirement. So why you need the fiber? You can get requirement for the copper as well. But you have the higher requirement, you can connect with the fiber. Means higher bandwidth requirement, then you can connect with the fibers. Similarly, if you want to go for the WAN and you have the very higher, means more than 1 GPS requirement you have, then basically your copper is not going to solve your problem. You have to use your fiber ports. So in short, if I say that, if I want to make my LAN or WAN connectivity from the copper or fiber, I can do that. These all ports are going to use for the LAN and WAN connectivity. Means if I want to connect my local area network or might be connected with the wide area network, these ports are going to be used. Is it clear why these ports are available, copper and fiber? Yes, no, maybe. Please, guys.
Yes,
Is it clear,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, the next port we have, that is the HA ports. Any idea what is this? Any guess? Anyone have? What is HA ports?
For redundancy purpose.
Yes, Ravit. You're right. So why redundancy is going to be required? Cross question. Ravit, you want to say something? Why redundancy is going to be required? What is the logic of redundancy?
So
If one switch
will go down, so other will
Down.
possibility. So we want to prevent any outage. So that's why we require the redundancy.
Makes sense, right? So what happened? Let's suppose, logically I'm drawing the diagram. I have this one firewall, okay? PA01. Below that, we have the LAN connectivity. Means switch, you can think switch is connected to one. And behind this, here, user are setting A, B, C. They want to go on the internet. They can go that, no problem. But what if this cable is going to be down? If this cable is going to be down, my total LAN connectivity is going to be down from the WAN point of view. If this cable is going to be down, again my connectivity is going to be down. If this firewall is going to be down, again my connectivity is going to be down. Means it is my single point of failure. This is known as the single point of failure architecture. Means you do not have any redundancy. So if you do not have any redundancy, your link is getting down, you have outage. Your firewall is going to down, you have the service disruption, that's outage. And also your switch is even failing, that's again have the outage, or link is also getting down, again you have outage. So what is the best solution I can have? So I can design my LAN network in such way, I can place another firewall here, that is a PA02. And these are going to connect with a special cable. Focus on this cable. And another I have a switch. This is my going to be switch 2. They are also going to connect with my firewall. And this firewall is going to connect with the internet. Now, if this firewall is going to be down, still my traffic is going via this firewall and go to the internet. If still this firewall is down, my user can go via this internet. If this switch is going to be down, there are like user have to just only move. Might be user just need to connect on the different switch and then it start working. Just you have to plug the LAN cables. Or if you are going to use a wireless system, then even that LAN cable dependency is going to be down because this switch is going to transmit your signals via the WLC or access point. If this firewall going down, still you have to go internet. If this link going down, still you have to go the internet. So means you have the backup path. And once you have the backup path, you have the redundancy. So due to that consideration, we require the special port that is known as the HA1 and HA2 ports. And how it is going to use, let me explain. So in Palo Alto firewalls, if I have the PA01 here and I have the PA02 here, they need to connect to build the high availability with a special port. This port is known as the HA1 port and this port is known as the HA2 port. And this is the port, means one cable is going to come from this one here and that's going to connect here, right, from this firewall. One is here and going to connect here. So this is my HA1 and HA, means two firewall. If I want to use in a pair, then I need to connect the HA1 and HA2 cable, and based on that, they are going to make the high availability. In case of the single point of failure, they are going to provide the support to each other. The HA1 especially, that is known as the control link. HA2 is going to known as the data link. What is a control link? We'll discuss in deep dive later on. Even I'll do the labs. Everything in the lab I'll show you, but just giving the brief idea. Control link is going to check whether you are alive or dead. It's going to check the heartbeats. They're going to check the routing information and all, user ID information and all. Means signaling, they're going to check user. No data traffic is going to be transmitted. So they just going to make sure you are alive or not. Might be you guys aware about the OSPF neighborship. In OSPF neighborship, you keep sending the hello packets. EIGRP neighborship keep sending the hello packet. BGP neighborship keep sending the hello packet. If certain period of time like OSPF 10-40 seconds, till 40 seconds if you are not going to reply, your neighborship is going to be down. If you are going to use the BGP, you are going to use like 60-180 seconds. So they are going to wait 180 seconds. If there is no reply, then they are going to be tear down your peer. Similarly, if the heartbeats are going to be exchanged, they are aggressive timers. They are the very fast timers. I will show the timer as well. If certain timer like 3 seconds there is no reply, they will tear down the peer and they will declare one firewall is active and one firewall is going to be out of the HA pair. And HA2 link is going to sync your all database, means your sessions, your database, your ARP table, you're going to be MAC table, everything is going to sense by this HA2 link. HA3 is also going to be there, but we'll discuss later in active scenario. Is it clear, everyone?
So the connectivity should be like this. HA1 should connect with HA1 of another device.
Let me draw the connectivity. This is my another firewall. Just think about it. Just think this is my PA1 and this is my PA02. This one also have the two port, HA1 and HA2 ports. So how the connectivity is going to look like? This cable is going to connect on this port and this cable is going to connect to this port.
No cross connection, right, sir?
No, direct
Due
connection.
to the behavioral feature.
Yes, because
As you
if you do the
explained.
cross connection, it will not work because one have the dedicated function. This link have dedicated function.
Yeah.
This is just for the control link, right? And this have the data link. So both have the different purpose. So you cannot make the cross connections.
So in case of failure, you said HA2 will comes in picture and uh, take care of all the traffic. So will it?
No, it's not like that. If any firewall is going to fail, right? What is going to happen? If let's suppose this is my active firewall, primary firewall, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And this is my passive firewall. Let's say this firewall is going to down. Then how this firewall is come to know this firewall is down? Who is going to tell them? Think about it.
By this HA connectivity, because they have timers, they are tracking
The control
each
link.
other.
The control
link is
link.
going. Because like OSPF you configure, na? OSPF what happen? If you configure in the OSPF, if your OSPF neighborship is going down, then what is going to happen? You're going to lose the connectivity. Make sense?
Yeah.
So there is no timer, then you're going to lose the connectivity. Same thing is going to happen. If this is going to be down, then this firewall will come to know this firewall is no more because they are not sending the hello messages. So they will declare themselves as active and they will start forwarding the traffic. If this is going to come again online, by default it will not become active unless or until you configure the preemption. You know preemption, what is the preemption? Who all know preemption? HSRP, VRRP,
Yes,
GLVP.
Yeah.
There is a preemption concept, na?
yes.
So if preemption is not enabled, by default in HSRP, you have to enable the preemption. Then your master is going to take a role and then it is going to be forward traffic. Similarly, in this Palo Alto as well, by default preemption is not enabled. You have to enable the preemption. And then it is going to be forward your traffic. Once it is going to become online, they will take their original role and become the active and then start forwarding the traffic. This is how it is going to happen. Okay, clear? Shall we move next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. So let me explain something. Let me close this one. Before console, we have to understand some few more thing. Okay. So let me explain the difference because we are doing discussion, so we should know about this also. We'll take console, don't worry. We'll take console not today, then we'll take in next class. Don't worry. But I also console everything. But let's understand because we are doing the good discussion. So we have to understand design and architecture of the Palo Alto firewall as well. As I mentioned that we have the multiple type of Palo Alto firewall. You can say PA220 we have, PA820 we have, PA3000 series we have, right? We have PA5000 series firewall, PA7000 series the firewall. We have a lot of firewalls, right? So let's understand a little bit architecture of the Palo Alto firewall. If I have the small firewall, let's suppose your company is using very small firewall, then what kind of the benefits you are going to get and what kind of feature you are going to get. So problem is a small firewall is designed to cater a small number of the offices. Means very small branch, where my 10, 20 user are sitting, 5, 10 user are sitting, that firewall is going to use. Maximum 10, 20, 30, you can use it. The problem why the not very large number of users, the session, maximum session they can create up to 64,000. This firewall means, you know, we are talking about next generation firewall. I'll talk what is the session means what is the session, what is the legacy firewall versus next generation firewall, how old firewall is working and how next generation firewall is working. So we'll compare that. But session means these firewall are going to maintain a session table. And maximum session they can create is a 64,000. And they can create a session per second. That's maximum is a 4,200, and that's quite low. Trust me. Even if you are using your normal browser, you're doing any kind of the communication from your browser. Your browser itself, one single browser can create more than 100, 200 sessions. If you are going to use the Teams apps, Outlook apps, they even get 50, 60 sessions because you're getting one notifications, one redirection, any ad, they all create the sessions. So you can find lot of session is going to be on single user. It's more than 100, thousands, sometimes more than that, even if they have the multiple application opens. So this is a very low number. And also they are talking about 500 Mbps firewall throughput if we enable the application identification. Maximum, if you enable the app ID, what is app ID? You guys don't know. But there is a feature, application identification. By using that feature, Palo Alto understand which application user is accessing and what kind of data he is sending and receiving from the internet. Means it's a Facebook application, it's a Yahoo application, it's a Gmail application, it's a YouTube application, it's like a Box application, Salesforce application, Workday application, any other HR applications. They all are going to be recognized, and maximum throughput is going to be 500 Mbps. If you are going to enable threat preventions and you want to get it throughputs, threat prevention, what is threat? Threat are like any virus, any malware, any vulnerability, any wildfire. They all are come under the threats. So if you want to get higher threat inspections, maximum speed you are going to get the 150 Mbps. But if you have the bigger firewall, probably you are going to get more throughputs. If you have the plan to build IPsec tunnels, let's suppose you have a 2 branch, one is Delhi and one is probably have the Mumbai. Or you can think about one is the New York, and one is might be the Singapore. If you want to build a tunnel is going to build, but maximum you can send the traffic via this tunnel is 250 Mbps. So you can think about, if you have a requirement, your business requirement is I have to send 500 Mbps traffic via the tunnel. This is not useful. These firewall are not useful because they can only send 250 Mbps traffic from one location to another locations. Clear? That's the restriction we have in this particular firewall. If I talk about the virtual routers, what is the virtual routers? What is a router, guys? Anyone? What is a router? What is router?
Router is used to communicate at different networks.
Okay. So router basically used to make a communication from one subnet to another subnet, right? That's the only we have. Means we have the different routing, and you want to do the communications for different routing protocols, different subnets. The router is going to help. Similarly, in the Palo Alto Firewall, when you're going to purchase the Palo Alto Firewall, by default, they have 3 routers inside of this particular firewall. Means you can create 3 routers. Means this is the R1, this is the R2, and this is the R3. This is known as the VR1, this is the VR2, and this is the VR3. So by default, you are going to create 3 virtual routers. Maximum you can create. Why 3 virtual router is needed? You guys don't have any concept. What is the VR concept? I will do the deep dive on it. So basically, if you want to do the any routing protocol configuration, the routing could be your static route, could be also connected route, and could be your RIP, it support, and also it support the OSPF, V2 and V3 both, right? V3 for the IPv6, this support, They support the BGP. They support the multicast. These all supports by the Palo Alto Firewall by the routers. They not support the AI-GRP because AI-GRP was earlier Cisco proprietary. Now it's open standard, but still none of the vendor is using this AI-GRP. So, but these all protocols are going to be connected route. You can do that static route and also support the policy-based routing. Policy-based forwarding we can use in the Palo Alto Firewall. So these all routing you have to do on the virtual routers. But why 3 virtual routers? Why not 1 virtual router? I will explain these all things. Why this inter VR routing is very important and why sometimes we have to use a 3 virtual router or 4 virtual router and even more than that. There is a logic, right? So we have to understand. Now, maximum security zone 15 you can create, means very limited number of zones, because in firewalls you have to get a lot of zones for the different requirement, but you can maximum create 15 security zones and maximum number of policy 250 only. And what is zone? You don't know what is zone. I will explain what is zone later on, but zone is going to be very important parameter in the Palo Alto Firewall, and that is going to require, and maximum 250 policy are going to be configured as well. Is it clear? Any doubt till this slide? Anyone? Any questions, any feedback, any suggestions still here, guys? Let me know.
Are they still in use or obsolete?
Yes, is used, in use, not obsolete. This is the still top selling firewall in the market.
So this virtual router concept is similar to VRF. Virtual.
Yes, similar
Okay.
to VR. I'll cover later on. Okay, similar
Sir,
to VR.
what is the throughput, sir?
Which throughput?
That 500 Mbps firewall throughput, like
Throughput maximum, say there is a speed, right? The speed is going to be like any link speed, right? Throughput is maximum capacity, how much traffic you can send it. And that is going to depend on the different kind of the requirement. Some IPsec tunnel is going to take out some traffic. Some other data processing is going to happen in internal firewall. So maximum capacity, how much you can just carry the traffic, right? And
okay.
through what speed you can send the traffic, that's totally depend to you. But maximum you can just pass the traffic with 5 Mbps through this firewall. Overall, that is the throughput. Okay, so let's back to the next slide. Here you can see we have the another firewall, that is the 820 firewall. Now you can see the parameter is getting increased. 900, 610, 400 Mbps of the VPN circuits. You can create now 120,000 maximum sessions. You can create 8300 sessions per second. 1000 Mbps VPN tunnel. You can see 1000 Mbps. Earlier it was 250, but the moment you change the firewall, it's become the 1000. Even we have the one more firewall in between, 400 series of firewall, and 5 virtual router. Now we have 30 security zone, 1500 security policy. So more bigger you go, more better feature you're going to find, but you have to spend more money as well. So all things you have to consider, right? So you are getting that, and again you're going to 3200. In 3200, we have this kind of the features. See, the VPN throughputs go to 2.5 GPS. 2.5 GPS, guys. Think about it. It's 2.5 GPS, means 2500 Mbps. Session is going to be almost 1 lakh, right? And 58,000 per second sessions. And the IPsec tunnel going to be 4000 Mbps. Sorry, 4000 Mbps. And SSL VPN. Now, this is another feature you are going to get in this firewall, SSL user creation. Before the firewall, whatever I discussed that, there are 2 types of VPN. One is known as a side-to-side VPN. And another is known as the remote access VPN. So, another version of firewall like PA220, 820 doesn't support this remote access VPN. But this firewall supports. This is the 4024 SL VPN user. Means you can create 1024 SL. Yes, Rekha, please go ahead.
Yeah, if it is 2.5 Gbps IPsec, right?
Yes.
VPN, it is a overall throughput, right?
Right. Overall throughputs.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Thank you.
But per tunnel you can create 4,000 maximum per tunnel.
Per tunnel.
Yes, right.
Okay.
What's your name, man? What's your name?
Rekha Vishnudhan.
Rekha Viswanathan. Okay. Thank you so much. I was thinking you mistaken some different name is showing there. Okay. Thank you. Got it.
Sir, I have a question. Point number 6 is showing Mbps or the number of IPsec tunnels.
Sorry. Which one?
Point number 6.
Yes, it's going to be, sorry, my bad. It's going to be number of tunnel, how much create. Yeah, my bad. Yes, correct. You're right. Sorry for corrections. This is going to be VPN throughput maximum, and this is a number of tunnel going to be created. Tunnel interface, how much create? There's a 4,000 tunnel create. We can create. Sorry, I really apologize. I really missed that point. Okay. You're correct. Good catch.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So if I move the next one, you can see the Palo Alto 5000 series of firewall, right? You can see you can get 24 Gbps VPN throughputs, and maximum session you can see almost 6,40,000 or 64 lakh, I think, maximum sessions you can get, and 225 virtual routers, and they also support the VSys. What is the VSys? In some time in an interview going to be asked what is the VSys. So VSys is one of the features. Let's suppose you want to get a VSys. You want to split this firewall into virtual firewall. Means one physical firewall you want to split into multiple firewall, right? Then this can be known as the, like, VSys is going to be there. But earlier versions was not supporting the VSys, but this is going to support the VSys. Means if you want to have the one single large firewall, you want to create the firewall A, firewall B, firewall C, firewall D, and firewall E, it is possible. You can think in this way. VRF, you guys know about the VRF? Like we have the single router have the one routing table. And what is the routing table? Global routing table. But we use the VRF concept. By using the VRF concept, what happened? We split the routing table into multiple routing table. So router physically going to be one. But we have the VRF A, VRF B, VRF C, VRF D, and last one is going to be global routing table. So within one router, we have total 5 routing table, but the device is going to be same. The VSys is virtual system is a concept where my one firewall is going to remain same, but within the one firewall, I can split this firewall into multiple firewall. The firewall hardware is going to be same, but I can say this is a firewall A, this is a firewall B, this is a firewall C, and this is a firewall D, and this is a firewall E. Now I total have the 5 firewalls, and I can assign this firewall. The physical box is same, but I assign this firewall to the Wipro. Just example, this I can assign for the SCL as a customer. This I can assign to the, might be the BT as a customer. This I can assign as a TechM as a customer, right? And this can be assigned as a Airtel as a customer. But physically my firewall is one. So the VSys concept is going to give an idea how to split my physical firewall into multiple firewall. Is it clear, everyone? Make sense? VSys concept. So this is going to support by the high-end firewalls, not the lower-end firewalls. And if I go
So
in
we
the
can
last,
deep dive in next session, right?
yeah, we'll discuss. No worry.
Process.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just giving the overview of what feature available, right? In different firewalls.
Yeah.
In a smaller firewalls, what we understand, if I'm going to use the small firewall, probably I'm going to miss 2 major features. One is they are not going to support the SSL VPN. Means you cannot make the firewall SSL VPN, and the second is you cannot make as the VSys. Sorry. They are not going to support. But if you have the higher end firewall, like 7,000, 5,000, they're going to support that. So you can see now in the highest level of firewall we have, that is the 120 GPS firewall throughputs, 60K GPS, we have the threat preventions, we have the 24 lakhs almost maximum sessions we can create. We can create the 20,000 SL VPN user. Means by using this firewall, your 20,000 employee can work from home. That's maximum they have the user support. So if your company have the requirement, my 20,000 user is going to work, then this is going to be used for you. And then you can create the 900 security zone, and you can create the maximum number of policy, that is a 40,000. So this is about that hardware. Any questions, guys, still here? Because I don't want to cover anything else, more about the packet and all licensing. But any question till here, let me know. Come on, guys. Any questions still here? Any doubt? No questions?
No,
All good
all
till-
good.
All good? So what I can do that, because already we are at 10:30, right? Session is 1 hour only. So I was having a plan to have a console access of this firewall, and I will show you the how to take the CLI access and how to take the GUI access. But we stuck in the normal discussion. That's a very good discussion, and it's very important discussion to fundamental of the how the firewall is going to look like. In next lecture, we are going to learn how to configure the Palo Alto firewall from scratch. So I will do this setup again, because this is going to be on the disk only. So I will connect this console cable from here, and I will show you everything on the camera, how to take the console, because already you know about the ports. So I will take console connectivity from this one. Let me show you. So everything is going to be there. So I will take console connectivity, and after taking the console connectivity, I will connect this computer, because this is the only computer only, and I will take the first CLI and I will do the basic configuration from the CLI. Once I have the basic configuration for CLI, then I will connect again my LAN cable. There is a LAN cable also, and take the GUI, and then we will access the firewall, how it is going to be access the GUI, and I will show you what all services are going to be enabled on the CLI, how you can change any configuration you want to do a changing, and even you want to do any kind of the management level changes on the GUI base, how you can do that. So don't miss next class, be available, because they are the very important, guys. Trust me. If you don't have this kind of knowledge, probably you are always going to be a struggle in troubleshooting. If you have any remote troubleshooting, you're sitting in the SOC and NOC, and you don't have the fundamentals, clear basic fundamentals, then it's going to be very trouble. Definitely, I'll go and cover very depth about the NAT policy, advanced features of Palo Alto Firewall, licensing, the content ID, user ID, device ID, Panorama, Global Protect, VPNs, and also we are going to discuss about the HA in very detail. But these are the basics, and basics should be very strong. That's my recommendation. So be available in the class, and let's discuss in the next class further things about the console and the management. All right, guys. Thank you. I
Okay.
hope everyone clear.
Yeah. Any reset button is available there?
There is no
Physical
reset
to.
button is available in the Palo Alto Firewall. There is no reset button. Let me look, but there is no reset button. What I know that nothing is available in the Palo Alto Firewall. No reset button. We can do reset by going in the maintenance mode. There is a feature in
Okay.
the Palo Alto Firewall, the maintenance mode. You have to go and do the recovery, reset, whatever you can do that.
Yeah.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. See you again next class.
Bye,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Yes, sir.